P.Y. Jabot, Chief Executive of Accelerator, thank you very much for coming and for attending. Can you tell us a little bit about how your change management journey started and how you got into business?
Oh, make a life story very short. I used to play ice hockey for a living. I got a nasty Finnish player who decided didn't like me, broke my leg in 4 different places, and ended up in a wheelchair for a year. So I had the choice of living my past like old champions do, or get on and do something else. So I decided I was not a big corporate guy and didn't like discipline that much. And I had a kind of abrasive style. So I said, if I want to impose that management style, I need to be able to sit at the top of the tree. That's how I became an entrepreneur. To make a very long story short.
And how did you move from that position into an actual job in business? Where was your start?
Well, since as a professional athlete, you live in a cocoon. You travel, you're taken care of, you stay in beautiful hotels. All you need to care about is to score goals. So I need to come out of the cocoon and understand what business is about. And the only way to do that was to learn from, bottom up. So, I was at the back of a garbage lorry for about 3 months, and then my real break was my parents owned a kind of very small business, 25 people, and I've done every job from, cleaning up the company to be a stock provider, to be an accountant, to be a salesperson. Tried every single job, so I could understand the psyche of somebody that would make, a very low wage salary, and how you live on that and what your aspirations are. Because if you don't understand people's aspiration, motivation, you're not going to win.
From that journey and demonstrating what you've learned, how can shared service practitioners actually start to apply the lessons that you've taught us today?
Well, I think the key challenge for the shared service industry, it's a very established one. It's been working for decades, and I think the challenge is around what I've talked about today. It's change management. At the end of the day, when you move into a shared services structure, you're doing changes, and it's how to apply Generation Y, where I think the industry is still in Generation E. So it's how you adapt and you turn people on about those positive changes, and you sell it to the organization instead of imposing structures, imposing, platforms and processes. I think this is a real sales because people are just not accepting changes for the sake of changing. They need to feel involved, accountable, and owners of those changes. And I think that's one of the key challenges for the industry moving forward.
P.Y., you tell us that you look at businesses that you're planning on taking on in 3 spheres: financing, product quality, and people. Can you tell us a little bit more about those?
Yeah, well, the problem in corporate rescue or in turnaround management, whatever, or being a company doctor, which is a bit better than corporate rescue, you cannot fail because people have failed before you. But there's 3 key things, and the last one is the most important one. But the first thing, if you don't have a finance model, and if you don't have a buying power to be able to have the right finance and business model to move the company to this next stage, there's no point looking at it. If you don't have the right product and you don't have the opportunity to retransform or to reinvent that product, don't even touch it as a barge pole. But the most important thing, if you don't have the right frontline management and frontline staff, who are going to be in your values, who are going to be in your style, who are going to be able to revolution themselves into that new kind of management style, we won't go there. So these are the kind of 3 things we look at any business we could get involved with.
And finally, P.Y., you've said to us that you need to have a goal, which is, I want to be happy in my job. Now, can you tell us how shared service practitioners can actually apply that when they're hiring, and what they can offer their new employees and what they have to offer?
Well, I think again, the trends, ambitions, and remuneration packages have transformed in the last 5 years. And again, the new generations are quite a famous Generation Y. I'm moving in with new aspirations where it's not only I got a job, I make money, and I go home, I'm somebody else. So they want to feel engaged, they want to feel involved, and they want to feel cared for. And I think that's a key thing for businesses to attract good people. And many people say we recruit on attitude. That's one thing to say it, that's another thing to implement it. And that's a hell of a challenge.
P.Y. Jabot, thank you very, very much.